Hello, my name is Gisela Brill, and today I will be talking to you about tourism in disaster. And just to begin, I'd just like you to understand what tourism means in disaster. And one must first determine what exactly tourism and disaster is as opposed to what they are seen as. Tourism is often seen as a vacation word, when in actuality, tourism can also be translated as a respite or as work. So when you're touring a place, all you're doing is really taking a look around to see different sites and get new information. It is synonymous to going through a history book and learning information about what happened during a time when you were not present, but a more tangible version. Disasters have many components to them, and as such, they affect more than the individuals who reside in a place. A natural disaster could occur and ruin historical landmarks that are unable to be restored, which contaminates a lot of the research material. The same can be said for family heirlooms, which makes disasters more detrimental in multiple ways. The pictures above are all images of the aftermath of the effects and damages of Hurricane Katrina. And just a little background, Hurricane Katrina is one of the most well-known natural disasters to have ever occurred, particularly in the United States history. The natural disaster occurred in August of 2005 and lasted over the span of 9 days, and it registered as a Category 5 hurricane, and that impacted the lives of many and changed cities as they were known, particularly New Orleans. Katrina has gone down in history as the costliest hurricane to ever occur, causing damage of at least $125 billion in U.S. currency, while taking 1,800 lives and leaving thousands of people homeless. To get a real understanding of the effect of Katrina, one must understand what New Orleans lost that had an effect on tourism. New Orleans was and still is very well known for the attractions they offer, much of which include food and mostly entertainment. Before Katrina hit, tourism was at more of a low because New Orleans was not in the best of financial states compared to others in the country, and because of that, tourism was practically non-existent. New Orleans had just 3.7 million visitors in 2006, the first full year after Katrina. Last year, there were about 9.5 million visitors, and the city has 600 more restaurants than 10 years ago. And hotel occupancy rates are higher than they were before the levees broke in August 29th of 2005. That flooded 80% of the city and killed hundreds. And for the attractions, where at one point New Orleans offered purely historical and classical attractions like the French Quarter, they now offer things such as live music, new historical landmarks like St. Roch, and the list continues. And New Orleans has one light to it on it now that Katrina has taken place, which accentuates the food that they have to offer. The ethnic and contemporary scenes add a more international scenery than it has ever been. Disasters are unfortunate in every way. There are times, however, when greatness can arise from these unfortunate effects. As devastating as natural disasters can be, sometimes they are direct manifestations of the saying, some things are a setback to make a comeback. All right, you're done. It's done. It makes it picks